Down rode Baal-zallah and Elabelon and every wise heartman, in whom the Lord put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary, according to all that the Lord had commanded. Moses called Baal-zallah and Oliabah and every wise-hearted man in whose heart the Lord had put wisdom, even everyone whose heart swived him up to come into the work to do it. They received Moses all the offering which the children of Israel had brought forth the work of the service of the sanctuary to make it well, and they brought into him free offering every morning. Now the wise men that wrote all the work of the sanctuary came every man from his work which they made. They spoke unto Moses, saying, the people bring more. I mean, so that much more than enough for the service of the work which the Lord commanded to make. And Moses gave commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, let neither man nor woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary. So the people will restrain from bringing. The stuff they had was sanctified for all the work to make it into much. And every wise-hearted man among them that wrote the work of the tabernacle made 10 certains of fine twined line, blue and purple and scarlet, with chiverines of cunning work made he them. The length of one certain was 28 cubits, the breadth of one certain for 4 cubits, and these certains were all one size. He coupled the 5 certains one into another, and other 5 certains he coupled one to another. He made loops of blue on the edge of one certain from the selvedge in the coupling. Likewise he made in the outermost side of other certain, and the coupling of the second 50 loops made he, and the certain and 50 loops made he, and the edge of the certain which which was in the coupling, and the second, and the loops held one certain to another. He made 50 tacks of gold, and coupled the certains one to another with the tackets, so it became one turbulence. He made certains of goats and hair. For the tent over the turbulence, 11 certains he made them. The length of one certain 30 cubits, and 4 cubits were they bread, were certain 11 certains with one size. He coupled 5 certains by themselves, 6 certains by themselves. He made 50 loops, and upon the uttermost edge of the certain, and the coupling, and the 50 loops made he upon the edge of the certain which coupled the second. He made the 50 tackets of brass to couple the tent together, that it might be one. He made a covering for the tent of ram skins, dyed red, and covering of badger skins above that. He made boards for the turbulence, a shepherding wood standing up. The length of bread of a broad was 10 cubits, and the breadth of a broad 1 cubit and a half. And one broad had 2 tambourines, equally distant from another. Thus he made for all the boards of the turbulence. He made boards for the turbulence, 20 boards for the south side, southward. The 40 sockets of silver he made under the 20 boards, the sockets under one board, for he 2 talons, and 2 sockets under another board, his 2 talons. For the other side of the turbulence, which is towards the north corner, he made 20 boards, and there 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under the board, and 2 sockets under another board. For the sides of the turbulence westward he made 6 boards. 2 boards made he for the corners of the turbulence, and 2 sides that were coupled beneath, and coupled together at the head thereof. One ring thus he did to both of them, and to both the corners. And there were 8 boards, and their sockets were 16 sockets of silver, under every board 2 sockets. He made boards of shipping wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the turbines, 5 bars for the bars of the other side of the turbulence, and 5 bars of the bars of the turbulence for the sides of westward. He made the middle bar to shoot through the bars from one end to another. He overlaid the bars with gold and made the rings of gold to be places of the bars, and overlaid the bars with gold. He made a ball of blue and purple and scarlet fine twine line with triple rims, and made he his accounting work. He made therefore 4 pillars of shipping wood, overlaid them with gold, and their hooks were of gold. He cast them 4 sockets of silver. He made a handle in the turbulence of door in blue and purple and scarlet fine twine line and of needlework, and the 5 pillars of it with the hooks, and he overlaid their chapters. And the pillars were gold, but their 5 sockets were brass. And Bezalel made the ark of shipping wood. 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and cubit and a half for the breadth of it, and a cubit and a half for the height of it. He overlaid it with pure gold within and without, made a crown of gold to it round about. He cast it 4 rings of gold to be set by the 4 corners of it, even 2 rings upon one side of it, and 2 rings upon the other side of it. He made staves of shipping wood and overlaid them with gold. He put the stars into the rings by the sides of the ark, into the ark. He made the mercy seat pure gold. 2 cubits and a half was the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half in the breadth thereof. He made 2 cherubims of gold, and beaten out of one piece, and made he them on the 2 ends of the mercy seat, 1 cherubim on the end of one side, and another cherubim on the other end. On the side out of the mercy seat made he cherubims on 2 ends thereof. And the cherubims spread out their wings on high, and covered with their wings over the mercy seat, with their faces to one to another, even to the mercy seat where the faces of cherubims. He made the table of shipping wood, 2 cubits of the length thereof, a cubit breadth thereof, a cubit a half, and the height thereof. He overlaid it with pure gold, and made thereunto a crown of gold round about. Also he made thereunto a bonnet of an hand-braided round about, and made crown of gold for the bar thereof round about. He cast but 4 rings of gold, and put the rings upon the 4 corners that were in the 4 feet of the over against the bottom was rings of the places for the staves of brace to bear the table. He made the stairs of shipping wood, and overlaid them with gold, and bare the table. He made the vessels which were upon the table, his dishes and his spoons, and his bowls, and his covers to cover with all pure gold. He made the candlestick of pure gold. A beam work made he in the candlestick, and his shelf and his branch, his bowls and his knobs. His flowers were the same, and the 6 branches going out of the sides thereof, 3 branches of the candlestick out of one side thereof, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side thereof. 3 bowls made after the fashion of almonds, and 1 branch of a knob of a flower, and 3 bowls is made like almonds, and another branch is a knob and a flower, so throughout the 6 branches going out of the candlestick. And the candlestick with 4 bowls made like almonds, and his knobs, his flowers, and a knob on the 2 branches of the same, a knob on the 2 branches of the same, a knob on the 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches going out of it. The knobs and their branches were the same. All of it was one beaten work of pure gold. And he made his 7 lamps, and his stuffer, and his stuffed dishes of pure gold. And of a talent of pure gold made he it, and all vessels thereof. And he made the cease altar shipping wood. The length of it was cubit, and the breadth of it as a cubit, and it was foursquare. 2 cubits was the height of it, and the horns thereof were the same. And he overlaid it with pure gold, both the top of it and the sides thereof round about, and he made and the horns of it also he made into it a crown of gold round about. And he made 2 rings of gold for it on the crown thereof, by the 2 corners of it upon the 2 sides thereof, to be places for the staves to bear it withal. He made the establishments of shipping wood and overlaid them with gold. He made the holy anointing oil, pure and seasoned sweet spices according to the work at the apothecary. And made the altar burnt offering of shipping wood fire 5 cubits with the length thereof 5 cubits. The breadth thereof it was foursquare. 3 cubits the 8 thereof cubits, and the 8 height thereof. He made the horns thereof on the 4 corners of it. The horns thereof were the same. He overlaid it with brass. He made all the vessels of the altar, and the pots, and the shovels, and the basins, and the fish hooks, and the fire pans, all the vessels thereof, and made he of brass. He made for an altar a break and basin, great neckwood under the compass thereof beneath, into the midst of. He cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the great brass, be places for the stave piece. He made the staves of shipping wood and overlaid them with brass. He put the staves into the rings of the sides of the altar to bear it withal. He made the altar hollow with boards. He made the layer of brass, the foot of brass, and the looking glasses of the women assembling, which assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. He made the court on the south side southward. The hanging of the court were fine twine line and 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their bashing sockets 20. The hooks of the pillars and their sockets were silver. On the north side of the hanging were 100 cubits. Of their pillars were 20, and their sockets of brass 20, and the hooks of the pillars and their filters of silver. For the west side were hanging of 50 cubits, of their hanging of 50 cubits of their pillars 10, and their sockets and 10, and hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the east side, east were the 50 cubits hanging of the one side of the gate were 15 cubits, and their pillar 3, and their sockets 3. For the other side of the court gate of that hand were hanging of 15 cubits. Their pillars there, and their sockets there 3. Oh, that was 3, and their sockets 3. And the hanging of the court round about were a fine twine line, and the sockets for the pillars were brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver, and the overlaying of their chapters of silver, and all the pillars of the court were filleted in silver, and the hanging for the gate of the court was needled work of blue and purple, scarlet fine line, twine line, and 2 cubits with the length and the height and breadth, and 5 cubits are answerable to hanging of the court. And their pillars were 4, and their sockets were brass 4, and the hooks of silver, and the overlaying of their chapters, and the fillets of silver. All pins of the turbulence of their court round about were brass. This is the sum of the turbulence, even of the turbulence of Teshmont, as it was counted according to the commandment. And Moses, for the service of the lanterns by hand of Antamar, son to Aram and the priest, and Balzamar, the son of Urim, the son of Hor, and the tribe of Judah, made all the Lord command Moses with him. was Alalab, and the son of Ahashmat of the tribe of Dan, and Gaber, a cunning workman, and embroider in blue and in purple, and scarlet fine line. All the gold that was occupied for the work, and all the work of the holy place, even the gold of the offering was 20, and 9 talents of 730 shekels after the she scarlet of the sanctuary, and the silver of them that were numbered of the consecration was 100 talents, and 1,700 of 315 shekels after the shekel. She called of the sanctuary Bikama, for every man that is half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for every one that went to be numbered from 20 years old and upward, for 3,550 men. And of 100 talents of silver were cast the sockets of the sanctuary, and the sockets of the vow, and 100 sockets of the 100 talents, and talent for a socket. Of 1,775 shekels he made hooks for the pillars, and overlaid their chapters, and flayed them. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. Shekels. It was shekels, not shekels. Shekels. And therewith he made the sockets to the door of the turbulence of the congregation, and the bastion altar, and the bastion grate for it, and all the vessels of the altar, and the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets of the court gate, and all the pins of the turbulence, and all the pins of the court round about.